So hi, good afternoon, everyone. So today we'll be covering the basics of the CSS. So actually, CSS is actually a vast topic. Like there are a lot of things to be covered in CSS, but we'll be doing that things which is like mostly used in the projects. First of all, let's start our live server. Okay, so here were we yesterday. We made a basic HTML and implemented some of the tags and forms and table as well. And after that, CSS is basically used to give the styling to our web pages. So actually, we made a structure using HTML, and now it's the turn to give it a big style. So let's see what are the different ways that we can apply CSS. So first is inline CSS. So you can see in the image tag and inside this style, we added this style, right? So width is 200 pixel of the image, and here the width is 200 pixel. So that's the inline style that we can add. For example, let's say in the paragraph, or let's say in the heading, I can add the style. Mm, let's say color is red. And to add multiple properties, what we can do is we can add after like a semicolon, we can add more properties. Let's say mm, text decoration. So in text decoration, let's write underline. So we add two properties, that is color and text decoration. If I save it, so you can add it using this inline properties. So I will comment out here. I will write inline CSS. Okay. Mm, no, okay. And there is another way of adding the properties, like give styling to our CSS, and that is internal CSS. So if we go to our header, like that is, if we go to our head, not header, just go to a head, and you can write here style, and yeah, inside the style tag, we can give the properties to our divs or these headings. Or so let's see how we can select these. So there are different selectors. So first of all, we can do it directly by the elements. So let's suppose I can directly write the element here. So if I write P like the paragraph, so I can write here the paragraph, and then in the curly braces, I will give a color, and that is blue. So you can see it will select all the paragraphs in our document. It will make it blue. And other than that, we can do it using classes and ID also. Did we create any class here? Yeah. So we created a class for form details. So for form details, the class was for in the text area. This is for this part and this part. And you can see when we made our paragraph blue, the it also changes here. because this is also a p type. Now we can access it using the classes as well. Let's suppose if so to use it to access the class, we have to write the dot, and after that the class name. The class name was form details. So dot form details, and inside it, let's any property like border radius or border width. Let's make it mm, 3 pixel. Now you can see the border width is now larger if I make it increase to show. So it will apply the property to both of these forms. And other than class, if I want to make it using ID, so let's suppose choose any of this. I will take, okay, this part or any other. Okay, take this ID form. So I will make a ID here. I can write here form styling, and to access the ID selector, we have to write this hashtag. This. And after that, write the ID name. After that, similarly, you have to write in the curly braces. Suppose I want the text for my form to be of some different color like brown. Hmm, Does it change or not? Form details. Okay, form. It was form styling, no details. You can see it is like the brown color is showing for the text of the label. That's why I can see using ID. And there is also a universal selector, which is star. Where is it? Yeah. So this will like target all the elements inside this document or inside our web page. For example, if I give a mm, padding, I think we have not done the padding yet. So let's use something. Let's add the width 50%. So actually the width is reduced because it actually like the half the width because like compared to the width which was earlier. So we can do this to target our whole document. So usually we do this because by default, if I see, so there is a small gap between here, right? So this is a default like margin and padding which is given. So usually we do it to remove it. So margin 0. So you can see now it's like stick to the left part, right? If I remove it, it is coming like here. If I add the margin 0, now there is no margin, and if I remove the padding also, now there is no padding as well. So there is a like default padding which is like a browser provides. We can overwrite it. So let's like add the margin, say 10 pixels. Remove this padding. Okay, we have added some margin already. Well, let's see what is a box model in CSS. Mm, So in CSS, basically, box model includes the content, like our content that we have. For example, in the paragraph tab, the paragraph that we have written is our content, and after that, uh, there is padding and margin, and after that, the borders as well, if there are. So padding, what a padding is. So let's say I made a, okay, let's take any paragraph. Okay, let's take this item, take item one. Now we'll add a class to it that is list items or list style, list styling. If I copy this, let's paste it here. So in the list styling, if I add a background color, that is, let's add blue. And now see, it is going like this. So first of all, why it's taking the whole space? Because it is a block element. So there is a like two kind of elements, that is block elements and inline elements. So block elements actually takes whole space, like whole width of the our page. Block element takes the full width of our page, and inline elements doesn't take does not take full width. It only takes that much width, uh, that it only take that much width, which is the width of our content. So all the tags, like the elements like a paragraph or this list items and heading. So these things are actually the block elements, and some element like, if you have done the span. So span is also an HTML tag. So it is an inline element, and image is also an inline element because it doesn't take the full width by default. It will only take that much width. That is the size of the image. So there is also a span tag we will cover afterwards. Example span image. An example is say paragraph list. So what we have done right now is we have added our blue color to our list styling in this item. So you can see there is no space inside it. So it is basically a box, and inside this it is our content. But there is no space from the left side. Mm, so if I want to give it inside it, so I can give padding left, let's say 5 pixels. Now you can see now there is some space around it. If I want to increase the space on the y-axis, that is padding top and padding bottom, is the padding. let's say top. And you can see it gives the space from the top. Okay, so you can see this blue color is also like the height is increases because it is the part of that div. Like inside the div only. So this, if I talk to this is the content and padding is this part, this height and this width, and margin actually we have not given right now, and border actually also we have not given. So we'll give it also. So there is another kind of padding that we can give is like instead of writing separately padding left, padding right, or padding top and padding bottom, we can write it in this way. For example, just remove it. Okay, now no padding is there. So what we have to do is, so it will start from top to bottom. Like first is top, and then we have to go clockwise. So first is top. So what padding I want to give for the top is, let's say 5 pixel. And now give a space. Now it will go to the right. So because we are going from clockwise, okay. So right now we are at the top, and after that we'll go here. We're at the top, then we'll go here, then here, then here. So we can give the different padding here only. If I want to give a right now we are on the right side. Let's give 10 pixels. And if I want my bottom, and now we are at the bottom, I want to give it a same padding that I give to the top. So I will give 5, and to the left side also, like from here also, I want to give the same padding that is 10 pixels. Okay, now you see it is having equal padding at the bottom also and at the top also. And the left side it is 10 pixel. The right side also in 10 pixel just because it is a block element. That's why it's taking the whole weight. So if I let's say convert this to, okay, let's add another element. Let's see what is the margin. Similarly, padding is basically inside our container. So it is inside our container and margin is outside. So we have to, if we want to give the space from top, from the left, from bottom, and from the right side, we have to give the margin. So margin also we can, you write it in such a way. We can give a margin from top, top, right, bottom, and left. If I write margin top, it's at 20. I can see it is having, now it's having a margin from the top. Let's directly add the margin to everyone. Say 50. So on the x-axis, that is light, right and left, margin is 20 pixel, and the top and bottom it is 30 pixels each. Now you can see this element having the margin from the left side and from the top and the bottom and right. So this is our margin, and after that we come to the borders. Let's add a border. hmm, 4 pixel or something. Okay, it's border width. We are not given the color, I guess. The border color, I want to give it. mm, Okay, so we have to mention the border style as well. You can see when I added the border style, it is solid and the color is aqua, and similarly the border width is 4 pixels. Increase. So the border is also coming. Now suppose I want to write all these things into a single line. How I can do is write it in this order. First of all, we have to write the width. I want to write the 6 pixel width. That's why 6 pixel. And after that, give the style that is solid. Give a space and give the style. And after that, give the color as well. That is, let me give here. And now we can remove all these properties. So it is still here. We can see we can write it in single line as well. So which completes our box model. So if someone tells you to calculate like the height of like how much height this container is taking, so it will be like the sum of all these, because this container is taking this much height, including the margin. Okay, so after this, another thing is which is position display. So display is very important. Let's come to our form styling. So right now we can see that all these our name message are displaying it in the horizontal manner. But I want to display it in a like according to myself. I want to arrange these elements in the row or in the column. So for that, we can use a display flex. Let's make some elements more. Let's make a div. So div tag is a, you can say, a container tag. So inside the div, if I give div1 and div1, let's see how it's coming. Okay, so this is how it will come. You give a class to it. I will give parent div, and I will give a class child div. I will copy this, paste this class to everyone. Okay, before going to that, yeah, we right now we are doing this styling in this style tag, right? So this is the internal CSS we are using. But right now, if I want to use the external CSS, we have to make a separate file. That is, you can name it anything. I will name it, usually we name it styles.css. So after making this file, what change we have to do is, was after the document, you can add a link to that file. So in that file, you have to add the relation, and that is style sheet. And after that, you have to pass the link to that sheet. And what's the name of it? Is style.css. And now we can actually remove all this. So just remove this style tag also and remove this style also. And we can just cut this all the CSS that we wrote in our styles.css. In this way, it is better to write in this way. Yeah, now it's coming correctly. But now we will be working only in the style.css. So then right here, connecting .css file. Yeah, what we were going to do is we were now setting the flex, that is display flex or something. So there are different display like properties that you can give. Right now, if I am talking about this div, so this div is having the four child div inside it. So there is a div and it is having a four child div. But by default, the behavior is it take the will take go to the next line because the div is also a block element. So it will take the whole width, and after that, the next thing is displaying here. But what if I want to display it in a row manner? Like I want these elements to be displayed in a like row manner, one, two, three, four. So there is a property that is, first of all, copy this class name. Let's say dot class name, and after that, after the display, there are many options you can get. So let's write what choose. There is one of the option that is display flex. Okay, so now you can see all of this is displaying in a row manner. Why it's displaying in a row manner? Because when we display the flex, so it will make our div flexible, and by default, the behavior of display flex is it will display its children elements in a row manner by default. But what if I want to change the direction? I want to still display it in the row manner. You can write it flex direction, and I will write column. So we are overwriting its default behavior, which is display flex direction is row by default. Now we are writing it flex direction is column. Hmm. Anushka, you said that WhatsApp group. I actually shared that the GitHub link today only for the repository. I will push this code after the class. There you can see. Okay. Mm. And also add like in the child div, let's give a background color. That is, let's give it, and after that, give a padding also. I want to give a padding of two, let's say 4 pixel. Now it will give the equal padding, like the top, bottom, and left, right. It will be given 4 pixel padding equal. Now you can see some padding is also come everywhere. Now if I remove this flex direction, this column, or I will just comment out it and I will save it. Now you can see it is displaying it in this manner. Now there is another thing for which is giving alignments. So if I write here justify content, like justify items or justify content. So what it will do is there are different values. Let's understand. If I give center, now all of this content inside our parent div, that is these four elements will come to the center. And if I write here space between, okay, so we can see it will give an equal space around each element. Like it will shift the right and the like the first and the last element to the maximal, like the maximum possible to the left and the right. And in the bottom and the center elements are also coming like this. This if I write space evenly, it will give the even like the same margins, like from here also, from here also, from here also, from here. So these are some things that we come and space around also. Now this will add, it is not equal space from the around. So it will add some space from the starting element and from the ending element. And the space is also coming in between. So it's like you can set it according to the website that you are making. For now, I'm writing space is center. And if I give the width, I want to give the width of the div that is 50. Now these items are coming here. Okay, so this is display flex. And so similarly, if I comment out my column, and now I write here, control save. Now if yeah, there is no space. That's why it is showing like this. But if there are some space, then it would have shown in a different manner. So we'll cover it up if we get an opportunity in future to show it in a project or something. Wait 1 minute. Okay. So justify content. So what it does is it will so right now display flex by default it is in the row direction, right? So justify content. So row direction is our you can say main axis. So justify content will just like align the items according to its main axis. That means right in the horizontal manner. But there is another property that is align items. So this will display the elements in the row form. Like you can say in a vertical form. So it will align it such a way. So I will show you again. Okay, first of all, let's move this. And if index element, I add a heading or mm, let's add heading. And I add a class here. Okay, so this heading is coming all right. Or let's say instead of heading, I can use any of this. I use this. Let's use this image. Yeah. Okay, so right now you can see it was taking that width, but I want to write this align items. So now you can see So first, like the default behavior is was taking the full height of this image because this is the largest children of our parent. So this was the largest in terms of height. That's why the other elements was also taking the width according to it. But by adding align items center, now it will align the items in this form, in the column form. So you can say in the vertical form. Now vertically, the width of this is like the height of this div will be like the parent div is this much, like from here. But now it has make the center according to that, according to our parent div. Now it is at the center, it is at the center, and these are also at the center. If there are different properties, start also. Now you can see this is coming at the start of my div. To show you it in a better way, I will add a background color. Okay. So yeah, so this space is because we have given a padding also. Otherwise, it is coming at the start. And yeah, if I write here line items center, now it is coming in the center and align items baseline. It is coming at the bottom. And yeah, there are different properties that you can see. But usually we require the center and like baseline and the start. So for now, I will write the center here. So, Tanjila, you are asking about your offer letter, and so these things actually I am a technical person, so it's better you contact with the HRs for these things. Okay. So this was our flex box that we did. And after that, we will be covering the position. So let me take an example. Okay, let's remove this. I will copy. Okay. I will give this a separate. I want to give my, like, to explain the position also. I will give this separate name for my first div. I have given it a separate class that is child div 2. And for I will give the same styling to it also. Yeah. Neeraj, you are saying that how long will, like, are you talking about today or like the whole?
Sir.
So there are different properties. So let's suppose we have to give it in such a way. So in the parent if I write, okay. So to explain this, so there are position properties. So let's suppose this is my parent div, or instead of this, I can Take other. Okay, let's take this part, our footer part. Footer style. So footer style, let's say what I want to do is there is a property that is if I want to give a space from the left side, suppose left side I want to give a space of let's say 40 pixel on this footer. But right now you can say there is no space on the left side. So first of all, let me remove this margin. And you can see how many days. Now you can see right now it's not going to the left. Like from the left, it should be like the 40 pixel space from the left of this, but it's not going. So for that, what we have to give is position is relative. There is a value which is we will give relative. Now it will shift left by 40 pixel relative to its own div. So that's how, so it will position itself so relative to its normal position. So right now its normal position was this, like was this. But in CSS, we can't do it directly. We have to give position relative. And now we can like change like this specifically. We can give a different position for this footer. And similarly, if I do to my hair, mm, you can see there is also no gap between these children elements. So for that, you can give a gap, say 20 pixel. It will add a gap of 20 pixel for each one of them. And what I want to do is there is a position absolute also. So what that does is so it so the document like it will ignore that element for which we will set absolute, but it will still show. So it will ignore the space taken by the element, but the element will be like still visible on the screen. But it will ignore the space taken by the element. Let me show you with an example. For example, this is our child diff 2, which we took here. We made a separate class for him. And if I write here position absolute. Okay, so now you can see this is completely ignored. So the space taken by this is completely ignored, but it is still visible. So that's what absolute does is someone is saying something. Oh, by mistake, I guess my stopped my screen sharing. So Neeraj, right now I don't have like much idea how long it will take. So I will make a plan and accordingly. So firstly we are covering like the basics of HTML, CSS, and then we will do JavaScript, and then only we will start the MERN. So like you can say 3 months, like 2, 3 months is the minimum time. And let's see how long it goes. Yeah, I'm recording these lectures. I will upload it and I will make a like separate playlist for it and I will upload these also. I guess today's lecture I am uploading or not recording. Yeah, it is recorded. By mistake, I forgot. I clicked on this uh, pause button, which stopped my share. I guess so. That's why I was not able to tell this. Where is that gap? Yeah, I was here. So right now there is no gap in between the child elements. And if I want to add a gap, I will write this gap property. Let's say gap is 20 pixel and it will add a gap in each one of them. And I was talking about the position absolute. I am so child div is the class given to my first div, this one. So child div 2, I have given this name to my first div. So if I write uh, position absolute to it, you can see the document has ignored this element. But this tag is also well, there, but the document has ignored. So it is still like we can see it, but the you can say it is ignored. So, but there are some different things that we can do. So right now, first of all, let me give a space to my parent div. I will give a width that is 75%. Okay, so 75% will take the 75% of my full viewport width. That's why it's taken the 75%. Yeah, so right now I have absolute, like position is absolute, and I want to write here, let's say I want from the right side, this element should be at the 0. And you can see this element goes here because from the right side, okay, let me remove this part once. Yeah, now you will be able to see that now from the right, I have written the 0. So it will be like there will be no space on the right side. And if I will add here bottom 0, right? If bottom, we have given a relative property somewhere on mm, top 0. Okay, it is shifted to the top. But what if I want to this position to be relative to this div only? What if I want to position, let's suppose here, this part here. So what we can do is, so instead of, I will give my parent div that is position relative. So what's right now is happening is I have given the position absolute to this part and position related to this. Now my absolute one will change its position according to my parent div. Earlier, if I have not written the position relative here, it will change its position according to my like the viewport, like or the last like the last parent that it's having. So by default, it's the like the we have not given any relative. That's why it's going to the top. But if we write if related here, now you can see it is changing its position only related to this div. This that is our parent div. And if I from the right, if I want it to be suppose 20 pixels, it will shift itself 20 pixels from here. So by this way, we can give a different position to our elements also. We don't want only, sometimes there are uh, different layouts that we want to create. So we can give it in such a way. Mm, yes,
Sorry,
minus.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah, if minus 20, yes.
What is the major difference between the position absolute and position relative?
Okay, so position absolute will change. Okay, first position relative. So uh, it positions the element relative to its normal position.
Okay.
So to explain this, uh, if I where is that header footer? Yeah. So right now, if I give here right is 0 or not right. From the left, I want instead of 0, I want it though like some space should be there, right? So, but right now you can see there is no space from the left side. Like I am giving the 20 pixel here, but no space is coming because for using these things we have to mention like with which respect we are going to the left side. So if I write position relative, now this will like the position elements relative, like the position elements relative to their normal position. So it will go to the left side by 20 pixel to its normal position. That's why to have an access to this property, we have to write position relative. So that it actually so that JavaScript like the browser will know like with whose respect it have to move by 20 pixels. So if we give position relative, so with respect to its position, it will move by 20 pixels. And talking about the absolute, so it will change with respect to its ancestor, like the nearest ancestor. So right now, the nearest ancestor is parent div, right? Because we have given parent div relative. Now, first, let's suppose I remove this relative here and child div, I've given the position absolute. And if I save here and at the top, I want 0. Now you can see that element I created here, right? But after giving position absolute, it's going to the here because from top I have given 0 pixels and from right I have given 20 pixels. That's why it's shifted a bit here. And if I give right 0, I can see that element is coming here because we have not defined that on who's like related to which element we have to move this element. So by default, it will take our whole page. So it will move this element according to our page. So to define it, we have to define it. So I want this element to be relative to my this div, right? This purple div. So I have to make my purple div relative, which I commented out here. So once I make my purple div that is parent div related, now the browser will know that. So this element, yeah, now it's coming here. So browser we know that. So its nearest ancestor is this purple div. So we have to change its position according to that element. So that's why
Uh,
it is coming to the
for the
right.
footer, which like sorry, for the footer you wrote position relative.
Yes.
What if we give absolute it for
Okay,
the
you want to
footer
give a
style, sir? Last one.
okay, okay. Yeah, but it's not coming that way if you see in the relative. Right now, like there is no, there is no children of the footer. That's why like not making much difference due to that.
Then it should
But
go
if
to that window size, right? The viewport.
a viewport, where? Here?
Yeah, so this one at copyright 2024 months tag.
Yes,
So
yes,
when you gave relative to position relative for the
yes,
left,
yes,
for the left 20 pixel, then it moved to 20 pixel left side by
yes,
leaving
yes,
the 20 pixel margin from the left.
yes,
Like
yes.
if you give the position absolute,
Okay,
it should
yes.
move to the above, right?
It should move to the,
Like uh, relative to sorry, this web page for one. So
yeah,
when you didn't give in the parent box position relative,
yes, yes.
so
So
it's
it has
moving
actually, so it has
right
actually
corner.
moved. Yeah, it has moved according to that, like the parent. Right
So
now,
why
it
did
like it doesn't have any parent, so our page is the parent for this.
so
So
then
it
it
has
moved
moved.
then it need to move right, top right.
No, top, it won't move because there are no elements below it. I understand like what you are saying, but if let's suppose this footer was here, so you are saying that not that like our page has not ignored it. That's why it will move to the top. So let's suppose if I put this footer, let's copy this. If I put it uh, after the image, or let's say before the image. Okay. So now I have given position absolute. So what was the rule according to the position absolute? That our browser will ignore it, ignore this element. So it will like won't even say that this element exists, but it will we will be able to see this element. But according to the document flow, you can see this element is coming over the top of this element, right?
Or
Otherwise,
like try to give the tops otherwise with this.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
gave left 20 pixel.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, try to give the top what
Okay, yeah,
along with left.
yeah, I
Yeah.
left it also. Let's give it 10 so that we will know. So it will go to the top, right? Because it
Oh
will
yeah.
go according to the document.
Like, look, what is so you set left to 20 pixel.
Yes.
So like what is the by default value of that top?
You can see if I remove this, so it will stay at its original position. So right now, I think you are asking that why it's not going to the top, right?
Yeah, it should
Okay,
move
okay,
according
okay,
to its parent, right? So
okay, okay,
for that its parent is this viewport, entire viewport.
okay. So it's not going to the top because it won't pass it, it won't go over these elements which are already made before it.
Okay,
So so let's suppose you are having how can I explain? There is a 5 boxes and all are stacked on the top of each other, right?
yeah,
So let's suppose you remove the third box. So the first
okay.
and second will only change the position, now. So fifth and fourth will not change their position. You understand this
I
thing?
didn't I didn't get it. Can you repeat one second, please?
Okay, let's suppose you are having 5 boxes. Okay, so
Okay,
they are on the like they are stacked on the top of each other.
okay,
Okay, so let's suppose I removed my third box
okay,
from this. So like
okay.
my first and second box will change the position now. Like not like
Yeah,
fourth and fifth box will remain there only.
yeah.
Only first and second will change. So the similar concept, like this, the same concept is going there. So when we write absolute, so suppose this box is removed, and that's why all of these things which I have made here after it will go to the like will shift upwards because this is removed. If I, okay,
So
let me remove this absolute also. Now you can see it is there. But if I write this absolute,
right.
now we have removed this element. But it is still visible, but we have removed it.
So if this was the case, so you were saying when we give for that photo, when we give position absolute, it's not going top because there were
Yeah,
elements above that.
yeah.
For
It
similar
is
way,
defined at the last.
yeah, for the similar way, for the box one,
Yeah.
there are elements below above that, right? For the box one
Yeah, there
in
are
the container,
elements
sir.
where? Here.
This one,
Okay.
yeah, one. So when you give position absolute,
Okay. So you are saying it is going here.
yeah, it's going the in that case also
So it
elements
should go
present
here,
above.
right? So it should go here, right? According to you.
Where? So
Okay.
according to you, it should not go there
Okay.
because
Let me
element
explain that.
yeah,
Okay, let
above
me
there are
explain.
elements, right?
Yes, I got it. So here I've written position related, that's why it's going here. So let me explain this again. So I've written like the child div 2 was my box 1. I guess I should give it child div 1 to remove this confusion. Yeah. The child div 1 is my box 1. So I have given the position absolute. So right now, what should
Yeah.
be the result? It should be at the right, at the 0 pixel, which means it will be stick to the right, and it should be at the top. And from the top, it is given 0 pixel. So it would be somewhere at this corner, right? Because by default, we have written absolute. And there is no,
So
like in this parent, in in its parent, like for its parent is this div, right? So we have
yeah.
not mentioned relative. So by default, it will take, like it will adjust its position according to the page. So here, where should go? So it is going here. So you got this point? Why it's
Mhm.
going here? Because we have
Maybe
not given any.
it's from the box. Remove that image.
From where?
Once from the box.
Remove this image.
That. Yeah.
Okay. Where is the box here? Okay.
Okay.
Let me give it a height as well. Parent diff.
Uh,
Okay. So right
Now,
now,
where? Uh,
okay, let's do it from the starting.
okay.
So this is the basic, right? We have written flex, display flex, and it is displaying it in the row
Yeah.
form because it is by
Yes.
default row. And after that, we give
Yes.
this justify content center and some alignment and give the gap and width. So what I want to do now, so
Like
in my
for
child div 1,
yeah.
okay, right, let's write here position absolute. So where should it go?
So according to me, like it should go where it went.
Hmm.
Like it should be absolute. At the top corner of the box. It should go top corner of the box, right?
Yeah, here you are saying, no?
Yeah. No,
But
yeah.
right,
The
yeah,
opposite side.
I have removed the position also here. Right now, I have removed the position also. That's why it's not. So right now it's absolute. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's happening? So let's see what's happening. First box is here, but first box was here. So can you see? So you will be finding where is the third box. The third box is actually below this.
Just give it like some top and
Okay, let me give a
right.
opacity,
Yeah.
background opacity. Hmm, Okay.
So give some top and left value or like
Okay, you want to give the top and left value. Okay.
yeah, it might
So right now
move
you are
some.
not able to see the third because the first is covering that third. So that's why. If I give the, let's say, top, so what the top you want to give is, let's say 0. So where should it go? Why, according to you? It
It
should go
will
to the document, right?
like at the top of the container. Yeah.
At the top of the page, I guess. Because here we have not mentioned the relative also. If I save it, it is going to the top of the page. But to make it come here, like I want to appear at the top of this container, no?
Hmm.
So for that, what I want to write is this
Parent
container is
relative.
the parent div, no? So here we have to write, we give position relative. Now this will move relative to this parent div. Now if I save, now it is coming at the top.
Yeah.
So if we, so parent is the ancestor of this child. So if we don't give position relative to its ancestor, it will move according to the page, like whole page. Otherwise, it will
Okay.
move according to the position relative to our ancestor. Right
Parent.
now, it is the purple div. Yes. So if here, what was I doing? Okay, let's remove top. So what's going here is, so 3 is actually hidden because 1 is covering that. And there is a property that is z index. And z index, if I give it, let's say -1, now you can see 3 is coming. But where is 1 now? Because 1 is below it. I will explain this. What is the index? When the two or like when the elements are stacked over each other, then the element with z index less will go below, and the element with z index more will go to the top. So by default, the value of the z index of 3 is 0, right? And I have given the value of z index to my div 1 is -1. So -1 is less than 0. That's why it's going below that 3. If I give here 1, let's say 1, now it's coming at the top and the 3 is going below. Because the z index value of 3 is 0 by default and z index value of my child div 1 is 1. That's why it's coming to the top. You can give any number, say -20. Like -120 also works. So now it's going below and 3 is at the top. So did you understand this, the index part? Like
Yes,
anyone?
sir.
Okay, so I was talking about the top, right? So top is 0, is given relative, parent div is relative, that's why we go relative to the. Okay, so actually what is happening is, so this part is actually going below this purple. That's why because I have given z index -120. So I give 1, now it will come in. Because the z index of purple is also 0 na by default. So when I'm writing -1, so it will go below the purple. It is there, but it is hiding itself because the purple container is stacked over there. Let's give it z index 1. Where was I? I give it z index 1 and top 0. You can write right is 0. I am at the right side. And here you can also give the negative values also. Let's say I want, so suppose this is a number line, right? So this is the 0 and this is plus, and you are getting here minus, because I want from the right side, I want it to be minus 20. So from right side, it is going minus 20, which is it is going outside of this div. So if I write here like minus 30, so from the top also it is going minus, but it is relative to this div only. It is moving. Now you must be asking like why it's going out of my parent, because we have given the position minus. That's why it's going in the reverse direction of that. So let's say right now it's gives 0. It's coming here. And according like my footer is absolute right now. Yeah, my footer is absolute, but it's still visible. Now you can see this part now. Now this part is the shoe image is coming below this here. So the shoe image is coming below my heading, this footer heading. So I want my footer to go below. So let's add z index -1. Okay, it's going because we have not given the relative to our page. That's why it's hidden. So we have to like make our page also relative. Where is my main? Yeah, class main content of. So if I give a position relative, mm, okay. I have to give my shoe here. So I remove this. And if I add my shoe image, where is that image? Position relative, and where is my, where is my div now? Given, I remove this. Okay, I got it. Actually, this image is not transparent. Yeah. So that's why we can't. What I was trying to do was uh, only I thought that this image was only this image, this part of the shoe. But then I realized that this image is not transparent and it is having white screen. That's why my like it is not visible. For that to be visible, I have to make z index 1. Yeah, it is coming on the top of this. What I wanted to do was I wanted my shoe to come over the top of this, but since the image is not transparent, so this is also white. This part is, it's a very big image, so we were not able to do that due to this image. Okay, so this was for today. Now we will make some, like right now UI is really bad right now. Now we will make something like some page in the next class. And after that, the next class we'll be discussing some more concepts like grids and some others, and some pseudo classes as well. And also we'll make some like a small page where we will actually style our page. Right now it is just for concept. It looks really bad right now. Let's move this footer to its original place. Was here. Okay, so footer is coming in. Okay, so do practice this. I am pushing the code also. Right now date is 25th September. Okay, so you guys can check out the GitHub also. It is updated there and you can do practice. You have a lot of time, like 4 to 5 days. Okay, so we will meet in next class. Attendance. Wait, this is